Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today in the mail I got some side skirts. I got the Bayson R CS style side skirts. So I just thought I'll make a quick video on throw them onto the 18 STI. I also got some rear spats. I got these off eBay. I don't really know the brand to these ones, but they had good reviews. So I'm gonna throw these on along with the Bayson R CS style side skirts, and then we'll see how it looks on the STI. So right now I do have a front lip, so just missing that side skirt and that rear lip look. So hopefully this kind of completes the whole look of the car, but we'll see what it looks like after these things get thrown on. All right, so starting off with the side skirts, you could just, I guess you could like jack it up and then get underneath it to put the side skirts on, but I think it might be just a little bit easier if I just pop the side skirts off, the OEM ones. So as you can see here, I popped them off with just a couple of these little plastic tabs here. So there's about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just lay down underneath it and then just pop them out with a flathead screwdriver. And then you can take the whole OEM side skirt off, and I think this might be a little bit easier. That way I can line it up, and then I don't know if it's some set screws that it came with, but I can just kind of put the self tappers or some bolts underneath it. That way it could hold on pretty good. In my opinion, it might be just a little bit easier. Might be a little bit easier to do it this way. That way you can get a better fitment when you put on these side skirts. So let me get set up right here, and then I'll switch the camera over. That way you guys can see how I'm gonna mount these side skirts real quick. All right, so I hit it with the cell tappers on the corner. Well, basically throughout the bottom. So we got a couple right there, and that's what's holding it in place. But there's still slight gaps. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, there's a slight gap right there. But other than that, it's pretty flush. Slight gap right here. But the overall fitment is like perfect. All right, we got the driver's side skirt popped off. Like I said, just a couple tabs on the bottom, and it comes out really quick. So let's get this up on the table, and we'll get the second side skirt put on the driver's side. All right, so we got the side skirts mounted on. All right, now we're gonna do the rear spats. All right, so the spats came with a pack of self tappers, and then a couple strips of double-sided sticky tape. So what I'm gonna do is I put the double-sided sticky tape along the top of it, just to kind of help it stick in place. All right, so moving on to the rear spats. All right, so the spats came with 2 packs of self tappers, and then it came with a couple strips of double-sided sticky tape. So what I'm gonna do is I put the double-sided sticky tape along the top of it to kind of help it stick in place. All right, and then the way that these install, get underneath the car real quick. So basically, the sticky tape will help it keep the top of it in place, right? And then I'll self-tap this corner right here. And then underneath the car, there's these 2 tabs that will just self-tap underneath here. And then I got a couple extra self-tappers, so I'll probably just put some along the bottom, just to keep it in place. But essentially, that's what it's gonna look like right here. And then that sticky tape along the top will just help it from like kind of like pulling itself away like that. So I'll get one mounted up, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, we got one of the spats on. So what I did was I just self-tap right here. Let's see if I can get it focus. Yep. So I self-tapped the corner, and then along the top on the inside, I put that double-sided sticky tape just to keep the top from kind of like pulling up. And then underneath it, I just did a couple of self-tappers. I might go back and then just either with some spray paint or Sharpie, just color these black. Just so it's not super noticeable. But to do the same thing on the other side. So what I'm gonna do, same exact thing. So that double-sided sticky tape, I kind of just peeled up one corner. That way I can kind of get it in position first, right? And then I pull off that sticky tape on the corner, stick it on, and then self-tap it in place. So I'll get back to you guys once it's on the bumper. All right, now the passenger side rear splat is on. All right, so I did the same thing, self-tap right here in the wheel well, and then I put 4 self-tappers underneath. Like I said, I'm thinking about painting those self-tappers. I don't think you could see it from the back. I mean, you can kind of see it. So I might just paint on black just to get rid of the that silver look. And then I'll pull it out in the driver right now so we can see what it looks like with the side skirts and those rear spats on. All right, so I did end up hitting it with a little bit of black paint. You probably never would have saw those screws anyways, but I mean, I know that they're there, so those silver screws kind of just stuck out like a sore thumb. So I just hit it with some black paint. That way they're a little bit harder to see. Probably wasn't necessary, but at the end of the day, I know that they're there, so kind of just to be able to cover them up. All right, so this thing looks pretty good, right? So we got those Bayson R CS style side skirts. That fitment is amazing. As you can see, it's perfectly in line with that and the side skirt. Coming over here, perfectly in line with that. And then just with those self-tappers, all that gap got sealed up pretty nice and good. And then we got those eBay rear spats. Kind of digging this style, so it's kind of like, it has a little flare that pops out. I think it just flows really good with the whole kit. Or I mean with the front lip at least. I'm probably gonna end up swapping this front lip out as well for the Bayson R CS style front lip. I'm not really a big fan of these little vents right here, and then how it kind of tapers and gets skinny on this corner. Not a big fan, but for now, that's what we're rocking. Let's do a quick walk around. So, and also these side skirts make the car look a lot lower. Same thing with the rear spats. It kind of just completes it a little bit. I think the next for the cosmetic will probably be like a rear diffuser, and then that different front lip. Oh yeah, you can see right here from this angle, you can see the side skirts give it another maybe like an inch and a half from the bottom, so it makes it look a lot lower. So I'm digging this style, it's pretty cool. I think that a different front lip will complete the look a little bit more. But overall, pretty happy with the Bayson R front or side skirts and those eBay rear spats.